Slimehouse TV, myself, Theo Kane, just here at Celluloid Screams, fresh out of watching Wolf Manor, and I'm joined now by the lovely people that made it, a lot of the crew that's involved, including the director, the writer, and the special effects team. So, guys, I'm going to hand this to you, first of all, being the director of the thing. Probably a smaller microphone than what we'd normally use for this stuff. But
I like it.
Are you finding Celluloid Screams? I know you're a big fan. Have you found it this year?
I love Celluloid Screams. So when we had our first feature film out, Celluloid Screams was one of the first that went, yeah, you're in. We're going to show it, and we're going to show it on a Saturday. And
prime time, that's the best time.
Yeah, it's just fantastic, you know. So, and Rob has become a friend, you know, and we've had films turned down before for Celluloid Screams. You know, the bar is very high. So when they took this on, we were just over the moon because I love Celluloid Screams.
You know, there's no favouritism. They turn down as well before I get it.
Yeah. So I've turned up here as a punter, you know, with a film not showing. You just think, well, there's nothing personal about it. They pick really good films. So I've always loved Celluloid Screams.
And what we're interested about this film, you were just saying it in there, and obviously I'm going to ask you a couple of questions that you might have gone through while you're on stage for the viewers at home that weren't there today. In terms of this production, you come onto it like 5 weeks before it even started. There was another director attached, and then you come in like last minute. And
yeah, but it was already written, and Shaune and Paula had already made the Beast, or nearly finished the Beast as well. You know, so it was. There wasn't. I mean, the main bit that wasn't ready was the production. So that there was. My wife produced it with Ellie and Mark Price. So they had an office. So they were kind of producing as we went along. So they had the hardest part.
And in terms of directing, I've not had the pleasure of being on set with you yet, but are you like a hands-on director? Do you like to get involved with everything, or do you like to take a step back and leave everyone to what they're doing?
They call me Dominic Brunt, the bastard.
Is that the one, yeah?
Yeah, really, really harsh, really shouty, really nasty, mind games, all that, yeah.
I can imagine, yeah. And so, yeah, in terms of writing it, like, where did this idea come from? I can obviously see lots of like odes to like the classics, lots of the Howling and stuff in there, some even older British.
Well, I'm a lifelong horror fan, so I've been watching everything. Me and Pete, the co-writer, we know each other from a film group in Manchester called Festival of Fantastic Films, and we used to go on the piss once a month. They're watching horror double bills, and then when he said, let's make a film, I wanted to mix like the 80s slashers, but put in the old style horrors, because we love everything from the Universal stuff to the splatters, you know, everything from the Wolf Man to Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, everything, you know, so, well, Pete don't like Slaughtered Vomit Dolls, but you know what I mean.
Honestly, you do like it all.
I love all that shit,
yeah. And then if we just turn over to the special effects team, because obviously this was a film that featured like complete practical effects, pretty much. I think I noticed one little CG shot, I won't say which one it is, but spoilers and all that, but yeah, it was like 99.9% practical effects. And you were saying when we did the Q&A in there that your original guy that was going to play the werewolf had to step out last minute due to unforeseen circumstances, and all the stuff that you had made to fit on a guy's face no longer fit a new actor's face. And talk a little bit about how you worked around that.
Yeah, so obviously whenever you start a project, you always want to get the actor, performer, whoever's going to play the werewolf or whatever you're going to do, you want to get them in as soon as possible. So first thing you say is who's going to play the werewolf. At one point it was me. I went, I'll do it, thinking, it's fine. And think, well, but I can't do the effects and the werewolf with Paula and doing everything else. So, and then I end up being the Mascalini, great Mascalini in the poster. But then, we just kind of got this actor in. He wasn't an actor, he was a special effects guy, and we knew him, and he was really up for it, brilliant, fantastic. Live cast him, head cast, body cast, did everything. Started building the suit onto him. Obviously, sending photos. I think Dom, you were involved when you were seeing the head, then, weren't you? Yeah. We didn't go down the route of animatronics. So we, even though I love the Howling and American Werewolf, they're big animatronic jobs. So we started trying to work out how you could move the werewolf without animatronics. So it's going to be facial prosthetics.
Yeah, but your genius is the fact that it was made out of different plates in the face. So we rather than shying away from these big close-ups like at the window, we said we've got to get a big close-up because he could sneer, he could open his mouth, he could do that, and nothing was coming apart. And it was a genius that you didn't need the animatronics, because it was done in different plates. Amazing.
Yeah, and I mean that was something that we kept talking about, wasn't it? Yeah. We kept saying, what expression? We'll put an expression in there. And then it already helps 50% what the creature's going to be. And then Morgan, eventually, when he played it, because obviously when Mark pulled out 2 days prior to filming,
it 2 days as well, isn't it? It's not 2 weeks, 2 days, is it? It's horrible.
And we couldn't re-sculpt anything. And we were on location as well at this point. So it was like, what do we do? So we had a look around, and then Ellie, the production assistant, said, my husband's an actor and he's 6'2". Like, get him.
I even said I'd do it.
Yeah.
When we've been told.
That's dedication. Yeah.
And then Morgan came in, didn't we?
Yeah,
tested everything. Teeth, again, were made for the other actor. So we had to kind of retrofit teeth for Morgan. And then it was a case of, we had all the pieces pre-made, so we knew how many days we were going to film. So obviously every day the werewolf's on, it's a brand new prosthetic. So that prosthetic is destroyed, it binned, so we make another one for the next day. And I think it was 7 days, I think we shot the werewolf out of 14, I think it was.
Right. Yeah.
We had a stunt mask as well for wide shots, if we needed the stunt masks. And it was just a matter then of trying to make the thing work on Morgan.
It all fitted really nicely.
It did.
Apart from the chin.
Yeah, we had a lot of cable ties.
Safety
pins. Anything to make the suit fit somebody else, really. You know, because it's something that people don't really think. They think, it'll fit anybody. yeah. But it worked, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's a testament to film as well. Like, I learned years ago that all that matters is like what's in frame. It don't matter what piece of sellotape or strings holding stuff together behind the camera. As long as it looks good while you're in frame, even if when you move it falls apart. Like,
it's always an excuse not to press record, you know.
Do you know, for yourself, Dom, in terms of like when you're directing a film and you're getting hit with those challenges and stuff like that, like it don't get more challenging than 2 days before your actor, your main werewolf, like not being able to be there.
Yeah, but it wasn't my problem.
But you're still turning up to a film without a werewolf, and like facing challenges like that, and as well, like this is a film that's like completely shot at night as well.
Yeah.
Like you've got a bunch of other lights and stuff. Like how do you deal with those challenges?
Well, the light's the best thing, you know. Filming at night. I've filmed at night a few times, but only parts of it. This was entirely filmed at night, apart from one shot, which was the fantasy shot. Yeah. But it's great because you can play with them shadows, and you know you're filming on the cameras that can deal with that low light. You know, why not? You're only doing it because your production and your actors don't want to film at night, but it took 3 days to get used to it, and we were on it, you know, it was fantastic. I'll always film at night, ever again.
One of the first shots, you see the werewolf side on when he's facing off with I know him as Shane from Shameless, I don't know his real name, but Nicky, it's his Shane in Shameless, right? Yeah, he plays one of the Maguire brothers. That, like, when they face it off and it's like a side profile shot, lit beautifully, looks so good.
Yeah, well, we ended up using that shot for all the posters, didn't we, that, you know, in the end, yeah.
Obviously, you're a filmmaker, you understand, like, the challenges that come with making a film. One of the things is always like, we're having to reset and move a camera here because we've got bags and cables and boxes. I suppose with this film you didn't have none of that worries either. If there's a cable, a bag, it's all set.
And also the interesting thing was we had the big Kino, 2K Kino, or was it 4K Kino, for the full moon, but it just meant that whenever it was in shot, we had the CGI chap get a picture of the moon and put it over the top of the Kino, so it was great. So it was like, oh my God, you just didn't have to worry about it. And if there's a wire there, it was like, well, they're making a film. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming and taking the time out to do this interview.
Theo, you know I'm a fan of yours as well. I'm a massive fan of yours, and you're a great filmmaker yourself, and I subscribe to your channel, and I thank you so much. It's an honour to be interviewed by you.
I appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words.
You.
Yeah, that's the guys who made Wolf Manor. We just watched it. And where can people go see that from now on? Like, where is the places that people can actually go check that out?
Next is Abattoir down there, and then the BFI Grimfest in Manchester, Trieste in Italy, and then we've got a break over Christmas, and then it gets released on Blu-ray, DVD, and video on demand.
Amazing. So it's doing the round. So thanks again. Slimehouse TV here at Celluloid Screams. Boom.